my pleasure to welcome you today to the District 6600 Webcast and introduce you to our special guest, Andrew Bone, who is the chairman of MESA. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you for having me today.
First and foremost, tell me about MESA. What is MESA? What's the acronym stand for?
MESA, as you said, is an acronym that stands for Medical Equipment Supplies Abroad. It was and still is, a Rotary District 6600 initiative that was started in 1981. To give you a little bit of context about that, is that Rotary District 6600 started MESA prior to Rotary International's commitment to eradicate polio. That's how long we've been around, okay? And we send used but still usable medical equipment all over the world in 40-foot shipping containers. We've done that to over 30 countries and across 5 continents. So we've been around a good while. We want to hopefully continue that partnership with 6600 and others.
So when you're talking medical equipment, you're talking not only physical equipment. I was on the website, I was looking, and there were chairs and there were, various medical equipment like that, but you're also talking, surgical types of things, or what type of equipment are you specifically looking at?
What our process is that when we are contacted by a host club, meaning an international club, they have already taken the needs and the temperature of the communities that they want to be able to serve. And they provide us with what we call a wish list. Okay? And so it can be anything from crutches to adult diapers to bed sheets to x-ray machines, but we try to follow their wish list because those are the people on the ground in these international communities. They know what they need. So therefore, we have found over years, we follow that wish list to the best of our ability.
Okay. And then do you have partner organizations here, or throughout the district that you work with specifically about these perhaps expired types of things, or where you're getting the supplies from?
Well, I'm glad you brought up the word expired, because one of the things that MESA does not do is we do not ship expired items.
Good.
Okay. So we used to, because there's other areas that would take them, but they no longer do because of health and safety concerns. So, but we have built out a logistical network from, physical therapy centers to nursing homes to hospitals or even personal uses that are Rotarians that call us up and say, hey, we have these many beds or these many wheelchairs or whatever the need may be. We have 2 trucks that travel many thousands of miles every year in the Ohio area to go pick up. Recently, we were out in Bucyrus with the National Guard that contacted us to donate some stuff.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So I'd like to talk about Ukraine really quick and the efforts that you've been making there. Can you share a little bit about what that looks like, what you've been doing?
Sure. And I want to be able to, there's a distinction between getting to know about MESA and getting to know MESA.
Okay.
So I'm going to share the story about how to get to know MESA. And it involves Ukraine specifically. You'll know MESA when you hear this story of a gentleman's name is Terry. Terry was he was a soldier that turned humanitarian.
Okay.
That served. It was an American who served 20-some months in the Ukrainian army, and then after his tour was up, decided that he wanted to be part of the healing. Okay, and through a Rotary contact, we were able to utilize Terry and his contacts, and we sent 25 wow. 40-foot containers to Ukraine, okay, using Terry and his contacts. And the Ukraine is such a unique situation because there, the difference between a life of disfigurement and in healing is a pair of tweezers that remove shrapnel. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
We were able to send equipment to a special needs children's hospital, okay, where the little girls there were ravaged by some of the soldiers.
Oh.
And we were able to be able to start that healing process because they were held captive and abused.
Okay.
Okay, and Terry was part of that process also. And those are things that only, sadly, are the terrible stories that come out of a war-torn environment like Ukraine.
Yeah, well, that makes me think of something. How does MESA go about ensuring that what is being sent there actually goes to where it is intended to go? Like, how does that happen once it actually reaches Ukraine?
What we do is we use a rotary-to-rotary model, okay? So we work to the best of our ability, specifically with a Rotary Club or district on the ground, okay? Ukraine, because everything was scattered so much, we kind of cobbled together a network, but the core of that network was Rotary.
Okay.
And so those people on the ground in that Rotary network ensured that it reached the area, because it went from here to Poland to Ukraine. And those Rotarians in Poland and Ukraine ensured it got to the right people.
So here as Rotarians in Toledo, as proud Rotarians in Toledo, what can we do to help you on this side of things? What can we do here in District 6600?
What we need is we need partners.
Okay.
Okay. We need partners in helping with our logistical network. If you have contacts that would be able to help fill out these wish lists that we receive all the time. And some of the most commonly requested items are on the website at rotarymesa.org.
Okay.
Okay. And because after doing it for 44 years, we see the commonalities.
There's some trends, I'm sure
Okay.
that.
That's the one partnerships that we need is in logistics. We need partnerships in identifying host clubs, because if you're doing a project that has nothing to do with medical equipment, we'll say it's a water project in wherever it may be all over the world. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you're working with that Rotary Club, ask that Rotary Club if they have a need, because you've already established a good working relationship with a viable, vetted partner from an international standpoint.
Okay.
So we need that also. We also need funding partners, because each one of these projects, the cost is approximately $10,000. Okay, and a lot of times Rotary clubs will write for district grants for part of that, and the district grant guidelines, I know them. I'm not. Yeah. That's something for another day.
Yeah. So we talk about Ukraine. That's one of the big initiatives. But when I was on the website, I noticed that there were a bunch of other countries, and you mentioned the five different continents. So what are some of these other countries, and what types of programs or projects?
The ones that I can share with you, a couple more, is one of them. We've just finished sending a shipment to the Tarahumara area of Chihuahua, Mexico.
Okay.
These are indigenous Mexican Indians that are probably one of the most compromised populations on the planet. They have been where they live is in the villages of the high desert mountains, okay, where they have nothing. They have to walk miles and miles to try to think about drinking dirty water, okay?
Yeah.
They have no clinics. Well, they do now, thanks to MESA and the partnership that MESA has developed with the Rotarians down there. They now have clinics that specialize in mother and baby care.
That's wonderful.
Right. Another one is that we, during COVID, and I was part of this, I was in an island in the Caribbean, and we were, they were meeting with me and the Ministry of Health, trying to get a 40-foot container of medical supplies sent there. That got stopped immediately by the minister himself, because that was on January 30th of 2020. And he said, we can't do this. We need more help because we've got a worldwide pandemic coming. We didn't know, he didn't know what it was called, but we all do now.
Yeah.
And they had an old house, abandoned house, that they were going to convert into an isolation clinic. But they had no equipment. And thanks to the partnership that MESA had, we were able in 60 days to outfit that clinic. And it was the only one in the whole country that they had. And that was a country of 100,000 people. And because of MESA's involvement, there was only 82 total deaths during the whole pandemic.
That's amazing. So, you know, as Rotarians, we all come to the table with different backgrounds and experiences, right? Everybody has a little. Tell me a little bit about your background and how you came to MESA and why this is such a passion for you.
Well, my background is very different than anything that has to do with medical supplies or whatnot. I am a licensed plumbing contractor. I've owned my own company for 20-some years, and but when I joined Rotary, I was always intrigued because Rotary, it's an international. It has an international extension to it, and I was encouraged to come to a MESA meeting by a past district governor, Carolyn Houston.
Okay.
Carolyn is from the Lorraine Club, but I wasn't from the Lorraine Club at the time, okay? And that's my club currently. And she very much encouraged me in that international pathway. And it has been a passion of mine because it expands our impact. Yes, there's a lot of things within our own community that we can do and will do. But to add that extra component is what I believe we should do also. So
that leads me, perfect opportunity right now. What can we do here in our Toledo Rotary? Like, give us some tangible things that we can do to be able to assist you with.
Well, you have the
and throughout the district.
You have the three areas of partnership that we need.
Yep.
Okay. Those I would strongly suggest to focus on as a club, to pick one, two, or all three of those.
Okay.
And say we're going to champion these needs, because as we want to be able to expand MESA's reach beyond 6600, we're going to need more of the logistical help,
sure.
more of the identification, and more people that are willing to help with the funding of the projects.
Sure.
So those are the three. It sounds simple, but that's enough. That's plenty.
That provides the stability that you need.
Absolutely, and sustainability.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us here on the District 6600 webcast and sharing more about MESA and the wonderful work that you are doing across the country, or across the world, really, with the international scope here. I think it's absolutely amazing what it is that you're doing. So thanks for taking the time to talk with us. We really appreciate you coming here and doing that. Okay.
Thank you for having me. And please, if you have any questions, you can just reach out. My number is on the website at rotarymesa.org. Thank you again.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us for the District 6600 webcast, and we'll see you again soon.